So one of the first things I do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to see how many searches are in for this thing. Because if there's not enough searches, this is merchant words. So let's call we're searching for lemon zesters. Let's see how many people search for lemon zester. So there's 56,000 people a month that are searching for the word lemon zester. Lemon zesters 800, so now you're at 63,000. Lemon zester microplane, another 8,500. Lemon grater zester. Now see, here's one of the things just as later on that I just want to show you real quick. If you look here, this one right here, lemon grater zester, that's one of those key words that's down there because most people who may not be as skilled, and we'll talk about why we want to compete with these people aren't as skilled, is that 56,000 as compared to 11,000, it would be much easier for you to get a pay-per-click organic or a keyword match with a product that only has 11,500, that has 11,500 searches, and it's just an easier keyword to maybe get into. Now also, lemon zester peeler. There's 500 people that search a month. So if you're the #1 person when 500 people a month search and you close 20% of them, you could get 100 sales a month by just being the #1 person for lemon zester peeler. So if in your pay-per-click, you're putting in money or you're trying to get ranked for lemon zester peeler because you're always trying to get that keyword. Well, when people start clicking it, then you're automatically, for those 500 words, you're going to get that search and you're going to be able to sell possibly those 100 items that nobody else is selling because they don't get that keyword. Like they didn't pull in merchant words, so they only think that these are the things. You might go look at it and we'll look and assess it a second and we'll see how many in their titles actually have the grater, or the peeler. We'll see if that word's in there. So that's merchant words. That's what I used there. So now we're back at AmaSuite. I'm gonna filter out some more stuff because I'm trying to get to a product that I can get to quickly and search through a bunch of products. We just searched through 200. It would have took less time if I wouldn't have been over there talking. So we want to add, let's just add a sales rank, a main rank in their category. And we want it to be less than 15,000. Let's go less because it didn't knock anywhere out. Let's go with less than 9,500. So right now, all the ones I have in this baby have really good main ranks. As you can see, I've filtered out everything but from 9,500, and all of these in this whole thing that I did are 9,500. I don't know if that's going to be good or not. So then what I would do is I would be done with this. I'm going to go in real quickly. I'm going to go preview what these 60 products look like. So this would be the thing where you're trying to get to with an IBT scorecard, and you're going to have to hopefully get to some of these. Teething necklace. So these are the products that come up. There's 63 of them that kind of match that criteria that we wanted. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to pick something, and we're going to go through it real quick, and we're going to see what we think evaluation-wise. So now I've gone over to these 6 wool balls. So now we're on this page in Amazon. We found this product with our AmaSuite or our IVT card because this scored high enough. It was in our parameters we initially wanted. So now we're real quick. We're going to go in and decide whether this product is another viable product. So first of all, it's 12 ounces, so it's under our weight that we want. The reviews, it's under 500 because that's what we asked it for. It doesn't have very many bad reviews, so I just quickly look through that. Then I'm going to go back up to the top. If you guys don't have this tool right here, it's kind of a cool tool because it'll show you since March, and you can, I think you can make this one. I just look at it quickly, but it shows you what the price is maintained. and that this person isn't doing promotions to be where they're at. See, their price has remained pretty much the same since March and April. So they're not, what they're not doing is that this price isn't, and they're trying to maintain because they're not moving the price up and down or giving away free ones or doing whatever. That price kind of stayed maintained there. So they're not doing like big discounts to get their thing. Where's our sales rank? Our main sales rank is 1,032 in baby. So they're able to rank at 1,000 in baby by having 402 things. So now what I'm going to do is, after kind of evaluating the thing real quick, I'm going to run Jungle Scout. Well, let's just run Jungle Scout on the main thing. So we know these are wool dryer balls. I would say that's probably the main keyword. So then we search wool dryer balls, and we're going to see how many come up. So we have a whole page of them, obviously. There's a second page. Some people there. So let's find out what Jungle Scout. So here's Jungle Scout and how that works. So this is the sales on the second page. Let's look at, so this is some of the things that it's going to give us. So as you can see, here's the rank. I'll look at this real quick. If the average sales rank is 71,000 on the page 2, you know, I would want a sales rank average on Jungle Scout on the second page. I'm probably going to want that thing to be under 50,000 for sure, and probably more in towards the 25,000, you know, average sales rank on the second page, maybe a little bit more. But on page 2 with 71,000 is the average sales rank. As you can tell, there's nobody making any money. Like, so here we are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of them aren't even selling enough to actually show up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 people on the page 2 that aren't selling $100. So now we're at 14. All these guys aren't selling anything. The 2 people selling the most. So now we have to multiply. Well, how much money is this guy making on page 2? This guy on page 2 is making 30% of that. So he's making about $1,800 on this product. Now he's had something go on. So maybe he's that. I think that's the one we looked at. It is. So he's had maybe something go on, or he's got his 402 reviews. He's either had some bad reviews, or Amazon just like reset this. What they do is they kind of reset the algorithm sometimes. So anyway, you can see that on this page, nobody's making any money. So, and I'll tell you why that's important to me. We go back down the bottom. Let's look what they're making on the front page. So these are the guys making the money, hopefully. Let's see how much money they're making. Again, it takes a second, but what we're trying to do in here, and my thought process is, okay, so now look, so people are making money on this front page. I mean, but let's really see if that's really true. Okay, so here's the front page. So the #1 person is selling 35,000. So there's somebody just crushing it, right? And then the next guy and the next guy and the next guy are making money. So the top 4 people are the only one making money, because let's go down. Number 5 is making 600. Number 6 is 1,500. I just multiply those by 30% real quick. But by the time we get down to the bottom, look, nobody's making any money from 12 until 23, 26. And that, because they're including all the side stuff and everything on there. But that entire page, there's only 4 people making money. Now, can you go up and get those people? I don't know, but let's look at their ranking. 142, 41, 1030, 4,500, 4,500. These are the same people, I bet. They got them listed in 2. They got 1 heartfelt, 1 little lamb. So, but look at the number of reviews. 4,600, 815, 400, 500, 375. So are you going to be able to break in there? Maybe. But even if you break in here, like, this is the number 8 person in the whole category, and they're making 600, and they're already ahead of you by 76. Here's a lavender oil scent. Now, I'm not saying you could never make money in this product if you're in here, but you got to get in there, and it's going to take you some effort. So I'm looking for a little more than this, and I'll explain to you what. Some of you guys are asking about specifics. So let me give you those specifics. So on Jungle Scout, what I think you're looking for is page 1 to be divided with definitely no more than 2 or the top 3 people having more than 40% of the market. On the front page, when you do Jungle Scout, you don't want a bunch of these people doing so much money, just like the top of that wool balls search was. When we were over here and we did wool balls, when we looked at it, look how many people. So right now, if you look at this whole category, the top 3 or 4 people are doing like most of the money in this whole front page. Everybody else is picking up scraps. So 35, I mean, you know, if this page is doing what? 40, you know, $60,000 a month, but it's all divided up to the top people. I don't want to be in that category. So that's one of the things that when I looked at that, when I was just looking back at the Jungle Scout, and I didn't put it on the screen, but basically the top 4 or 5 people in that category were doing all the money. They had like 70, 80% of the money in that category. I want that money to be divided out over that first thing. So we don't want any group of people at the top getting all of the sales. We want to see that equaled out, like hopefully through that whole first page. I want there to be at least 150,000. I mean, I'm sorry, from $50,000 to $100,000 in sales on that front page, because there has to be enough money that on page 2 there's going to be enough money for me to go into it. So $50,000 to $100,000 in sales for sure on that front page. When you get to second page on Jungle Scout, you're going to want to analyze this page the most, because the second page to me is the most important, because my goal is to get on page 2 in my thought process of marketing to a product. So I want to be on the second page and be able to make my minimum amount, which is around $500 from a product a month. So that means that product going to sell about $1,700 a month for me to go, okay, this product is viable enough for me to add it to my portfolio, because ultimately what I'm looking to do is to have products that range in price. I want to make 5 products on average making about $1,000 to $750 a month. That's what you want. And here's my reason. Does $4,000 in any of your guys' life change your life dramatically? Does $3,000 change your life dramatically? It changes a lot of people's life dramatically if all of a sudden you can come up with that kind of money. And so my deal is not to try to go out and kill it on one thing. I want to try to kill it on 4 or 5 things, and then my risk is kind of spread out. So on page 2, I'm going to spend the most time analyzing page 2. I'm going to continue to look for possible weaknesses in listings. So when I'm looking at the listings, I'm going to try to look at them and say, okay, you know, lots of these don't have lots of pictures on them. Lots of them don't have good descriptions. You know, their listings aren't good, and that gives me an indication. Well, if I do well, I might be able to get on this page. Let's go back. I'm going to look at this. We'll look at this screen again. I'm going to share the screen real quick. I'm going to show you what too much looks like. Cupcake liners, silicone cupcake liners. This page 2, they've got 1,100, 265, 147. But there's pages and pages of them. Look, these guys even put them in. These guys even, there's so many people here. So these guys went and got their silicone gloves because these guys are probably ASM. If I had to guess, Silicone gloves. Let me show you what that one looks like competitive wise. So these aren't even barbecue gloves. This was just gloves. See all these gloves. So that's the top 100 in gloves. There's 100 people selling gloves, and there's not even and that's not even in barbecue gloves. That's just searching. That's just in that one category.